For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website betchriscanada.net.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by betchriscanada.net. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Monday, January 20th, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
Always excited to start a brand new week in the NHL. Short week nonetheless, as the All-Star game is a-coming, and we can shut our brain off for a while. I don't know that I'll be lining up. Brian Blessing in Vegas, Cam Stewart hanging out in the burbs of Toronto. Let's give Mississauga its fair credit. But, I mean, I don't know, Cam. I don't know that I'm going to be that jacked to watch, Patrick Kane
shooting pucks from the stands?
Shooting a puck from the upper deck.
So it seems like a good idea.
Yeah. Wow, that was something.
Wow, look at this. God, man. They just run out of ideas. I got to be honest with you. I know this sounds ridiculous. I don't even think there should be an all-star game.
Just I get an idea. All these
just
things.
Give these guys a couple days off.
I hate it.
It's a waste of time.
I hate it.
Even betting on it's stupid. Like the way it's formatted.
I hate all all-star games. The baseball all-star game's the only one worth the damn. And
NBA skills is not too bad, like the 3-point shooting and the things that they do with the obstacle course. But hockey needs to. I don't know. I don't know what to do. You got an answer? I don't.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
I think what we should do. If this year we're going with guys off of like a top golf shooting deck in the upper deck, shooting wrist shots down from the upper deck into the ice. Yes. If we're doing that this year, my idea for next year: take the governor off, get 2 Zambonis in opposite ends of the rink, and give them the
race them.
No, you
drag racing Zambonis.
You give the Zamboni drivers the big medieval jousting swords.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Medieval Zambonis.
And I would watch that.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're right. What are they going to do next time? Okay, let's. What are they going to do? Have a guy like go up to the jumbotron and start like dropping pucks in buckets? I got no idea what these.
No. We'll have a drawing and have some random fan come down without equipment, stand in the net, and have Al McInnes fire it at a guy with no equipment on it and see how fast it was. What happens to the guy? I don't know.
I like your Zamboni idea. It's pretty good, actually. Oh, man, you're right. It's just a train wreck. Just send the guys to Jamaica for a few days and then call us when the games are back so we can bet on
all these guys, I mean, they're like, yeah, I'll take the suspension. I don't want to go.
Exactly.
But the players are telling you it's a gong show.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, whatever.
What do we do anyway? The comments of Brian Blessing do not reflect how much they love betting on the sport.
The comments of Brian Blessing reflect every sane hockey fan in North America.
Correct.
Stop doing this.
Yeah, I'm with you. So what are we doing tonight?
Detroit, Colorado laying 410.
450? Oh, my God.
440 someplace. Yeah, there you go. The total 6.5. This Detroit team is
a train wreck.
Nightmare.
What do you do? Colorado minus 2.5. They're minus 1.5, minus 160. Like, what do you do with this game? Colorado in a bunch of parlays with the NBA? I don't know.
But yeah, if I would do anything, it'd be Colorado puck line parlay. You're right. I would parlay it to, just parlay it to the Super Bowl and get it over with.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like that. Yeah, just take Colorado open-ended parlay. Let's rock. Total 6.5. They might get 5 or 6 themselves.
Detroit gets 7 themselves. Oh, I'm saying Colorado maybe.
Colorado, yeah. I lean over.
They scored 5 for the last couple of games. And you know what? I will say this, Cam. I insist. Maybe Yzerman just says, look, Turk, put your feet up, spend some time with your grandkids. But the Gallant thing to Detroit makes complete and utter sense to me. And honestly, I would view it as a smart move to use the final 30 games to see what you're dealing with and who you want to be part of this equation moving forward. I maybe over the All-Star break, that would be it's not an off-the-wall prediction. I've been, Oliver Stoning this for 7 months. Even when he was here in Vegas, the Gallant to Detroit made just way too much sense. Maybe out of the All-Star break, maybe something happens here, and Gallant's the coach.
No, it's a great fit. What do you do with Blashill? You make him the assistant coach or what?
What do you do with Blashill?
Yeah. It's not his fault. The team blows. They got a million injuries. You keep him on. Okay, sorry. I'm just saying. I don't think it's his fault, but anyway, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, Blashill's done.
Okay, no. All right. Or you send Tom Hanks to Joe Louis Arena, and you turn it into the Green Mile. I mean, that's what you do with Blashill. I mean, this guy's a dead man walking.
I'm sorry. I just don't like to see people lose jobs, Brian. I get it.
I don't feel sorry for the guy. The guy's made millions. He'll get a nice job as an assistant head coach someday. But I mean, I got news for you. Every Red Wings fan I know, and that's amazing how many Detroit people are in Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, they're spoiled. I mean, they won cups and made the playoffs 25 years in a row. But, this guy's done nothing to help the cause. And Yzerman's walking in the door. Basically, he's not going to the Rick Bonus route. He's not getting some interim guy. He's choking on Blashill to the ear, and I can't believe that he'd let the Gallant thing fester. Just grab him and get it over with.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, it should a good time to do it right over the All-Star break, too. Just get it done. We know it's going to happen, and you said it before. The thing is, with Gallant, nowhere to go but up. So it'd be a great gig to get because he's actually going to have time to put his fingerprint on things.
Well, and I got news for you. Especially after what happened in Florida, what happened here. He can trust Yzerman.
Yes. Yeah, he's got his back. He's not gonna be sold out like he was before. Other guys sold him out, so yeah, he's actually has like not just a guy he's working with as his buddy. So things are gonna work out big time. I agree.
All right. Florida and Minnesota games a pick, total 6. Both teams, Florida's on a Tootsie Roll. Minnesota's won a couple in a row. I'm taking the home team minus a dime. Florida's just such an in and outer for me. They're on a heater right now, but Minnesota's another one of these teams can lose 4 in a row, win 5 in a row. And Minnesota's like a cockroach. You can't kill them.
It's true. They were actually good to me. I had them against Dallas in a nice scheduling spot, right? The Stars had a road trip, had to come back for one. Their minds were already checked out, and Minnesota absolutely beat the crap out of them. I'm not sure tonight, though, Brian. Florida comes in there. It's tough. Like the Wild were good, but I picked them in spots. I kind of think the Panthers could go in there and steal a win, but it's a very, very tough game. But I lean Panthers in this game.
And oh, by the way, if you look at the standings, I said this, buddy, and we want to thank the people that knock on wood, right? We're having fun with this. Yep. We're getting a lot of positive feedback on social media. We thank everybody that's found us and looking to build the audience. But the Toronto thing, it's amazing. Florida's now in 3rd place in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And I said this about Toronto, and they fire Babcock. The Keefe guy comes in. All right, so you get a little mini bounce with the new coach, and the players are happy players, wonderful. But if you looked at that schedule that they've played since Keefe, they played nobody.
Oh, I know. And they're losing to nobody.
But they went nuts and won, and they're winning all these track meet games, and they're playing nobody. And now you've got Riley out, Muzzin's out. Anderson, you're right.
Anderson's he's not himself. There's a big problem.
Toronto is not a stroke on the board to make the playoffs. Is all I'm saying.
They'll make the playoffs, but there's big problems right now. I still think Keefe is the right man for the job. Babcock had to go. It was just one of those things. I didn't really think he was. I thought he was an overrated coach, even with his days in Detroit. That's my opinion. I don't think he's that good. He had great players to work with. Anyway, you're right.
And Freddie Mercury scoring goals in bunches. There's no doubt about that. Am I the only one? Huh? Come on. Am I the only one? That's like, instead of they should play Bohemian Rhapsody every time the Leafs score a goal.
It's so that mustache is so bad. It makes him look like a creeper. Like people are like, "Oh, what a nice young guy, great mustache." I'm like, dude, anytime I see a thin mustache like that, you're either robbing me or you're a magician. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just can't trust it. That mustache is grifter.
Yeah, Austin Matthews. I'm in love with my car.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the mustache blows. But anyway, this Leafs team's in big trouble. You said it. Like even Tavares, you think the stars that they had on offense, they can get them through this. I bet them against Chicago, putting parlays in. What a stupid decision that was. Should have just taken the over. This team's killing me. So, yeah, they have big problems, Brian. You're right.
Well, all right, let's go to Tuesday, and then we get the break.
Yeah.
All right. Winnipeg, Carolina. Hurricanes laying $1.75. Total is only 5.5. Boy, and Justin Williams is back, got the winning goal in a shootout against the Islanders. Carolina's like a cockroach, too. They just win and hang around.
Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think they've been as good as they have been recently. I think the Islanders could have won that game the other night. I'll tell you one thing about Winnipeg. They're up and down like a Polish, the toilet seat at a Polish wedding, too, Brian. You like that one? Anyway, yeah, they are. But or you could say Scottish wedding, too. It applies to both.
Throw several nationalities in there.
Well, I'm Scottish. I can say whatever the hell I want. Give me Winnipeg.
No, but can you? No, can you?
Yes, I can.
No, yes, you say you can. I say you can. But I mean, the reality of it is, this is a hockey show. Toughen up. Take your skirt off. It's a joke.
Yeah, exactly, buddy. You know what? I'm taking Winnipeg as a pooch in this game. The total looks low at 5.5, but Carolina, you never know. Sometimes they score, sometimes they don't. The Jets have been tough loss to the Blackhawks there. Chicago's playing good hockey all of a sudden. But anyway, I'm going to take the 50 cents with the Winnipeg Jets. I think this is a good spot for them to beat Carolina, Brian.
All right, my friend. Listen, Islanders at the Rangers. And all I'll say is
over. You like the over?
We were all over the Islanders at the Ranger over the total on January 13th, and the final was 6-2. Now, then they turned right around with a sandwich in between, and the game on the island was 3-2. But the game in New York was a track meet. And I don't see any reason to think we shouldn't come right back and do the same doggone thing.
No, it's been great. We've been these guys play every day. It's ridiculous. Islanders, Rangers again. Anyway, we'll take it. We've been pretty good with these games. I like the over. And I'll tell you, the Rangers, they played them tough. They won the last game too, right? So they've won the last two against the Islanders. Be careful with the side. You're right. I think we're just going to go dancing with the total. And these teams hate each other, right? So there's going to be fights, power plays. That will definitely, special teams will help our total get over the 6. I hope it doesn't go to 6.5. Give me the over.
We'd like to thank BetChrisCanada.net for their support of the Hockey Betting Podcast. I'm Brian Blessing in sunny Las Vegas.
And I'm Cam Stewart in cold Toronto, Canada.
If you love hockey and you're in Canada, and Cam is, by the All-Star break, even if you can't stop thinking about taking a vacation someplace sunny and warm, but you don't want to miss out on any of the hockey action, look for a BetChris near your next holiday destination.
BetChris is one of the leading sports books in the Western Hemisphere, with hundreds of sports betting locations throughout the Caribbean and Latin America.
Watch the game at a BetChris location. Food and drink specials and VIP lounges are available at many BetChris locations. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open your BetChris account.
Place some bets on your game and collect your cash at the window when the game is over.
BetChris offers single bets, parlay bets, teasers, and more on pregame and live odds for hockey and all your favorite Canadian and American sports leagues. And BetChris offers a variety of team and player props, including futures.
BetChris offers the best value odds on Canadian and international sports. Use the promo code PODCAST when you open up your account at a BetChris location. Deposit $750 or more and get up to a 40% reduced commission on your sports bets, up to minus 106 on single bets and parlay bets. That's the best juice in the biz.
So, if you're planning a trip to exotic locations from the Caribbean and Mexico to Peru and almost everywhere in between, the odds are very good. There's a BetChris Sportsbook where you're going on holiday. For more information about visiting a BetChris location while you're on holiday, or to listen to or subscribe to the Hockey Betting Podcast, visit BetChrisCanada.net. That's BetChrisCanada.net. Cam, you're Canadian. When you leave Canada and you're heading south, use the promo code PODCAST. Vegas wraps up the Eastern Road swing. Boston's laying $1.40.
Boston.
6 to the over. Vegas.
I'm done with Vegas.
Hold on, man. Let me tell you something. I watched this the other night. I just started belly laughing.
That Montreal game?
Well, okay. It's 4-2. They pull the goalie with 2 minutes to go. The Canadians win a draw.
Yeah.
Scandella gets the puck. There's no one within 15 feet of him, and the winger races up the wall to the red line, right? And Jackass fires at the length of the ice like 4 guys were coming at him to kill him.
Yeah.
Ices the puck. I mean, you just get it up to the winger.
Game over.
Get it out for starters. And no one's near the winger. He probably catches, turns, and empty nets it. I watched Scandella do that stuff with Buffalo for the last 2 years. Panic. Pure panic. To their credit, Vegas pulls the goalie, gets 2 goals. Montreal wins the game in a shootout. But here's the thing. Vegas, when this whole thing went down with Glenn, they had the end of their homestand. After 20 minutes of play, they were down 3-0, down 3-0, down 4-0. Then they made Columbus plus $1.75 in the first period. After those 3 games, Columbus up 1-0 after 1. Then they went to Buffalo, and the Sabres threw the sink at them. It was 12-4 the shots on goal. 0-0 after 1, but Buffalo stepped on them. And then now you go on the road. The only game they come out of the gate was Mark Stone, DeBoer's first game in Ottawa. Yep. But that was Ottawa, who was on a 9-game losing streak. Then they come back and play Montreal, and they're down 3-0 again. I'm telling you, play the over in the first period.
Or the other team.
You play the total on the game is 6. Well, you could play Boston, and it'll be $1.40 in the first period. But, I mean, you could play the over in the first period, and you probably have to lay, like I said, 40 or 50 cents. But I would take that to the bank, and if you want to take that and parlay it with something else, I would absolutely go over the first period because Vegas is just not getting the memo when the games start.
No, they've been, DeBoer, same old Vegas. Yeah, it was a nice comeback against Montreal, still lost the game. I don't know what happened. What happened with Stastny there? Did Montreal guys stick him and the ref didn't see it, or did he get a puck in the face? Oh, yeah. Because I was doing a radio show, and I turned for a second. I told the guy, why isn't there a penalty there? I see blood and teeth on him. He's picking up his teeth.
Literally.
Holy jeez, man.
I didn't know. God bless hockey players. I mean, I did not know. It was a combination of, I think he pulled 2 out of his head first.
They were on the ice.
Well, there were some on the ice. I think he may have pulled a couple out and put them on the ice and scooped them all together and picked them up. Now, I don't know. Yeah,
Stastny he didn't even have any teeth before that incident. They're all gone now. He's got huge gaps. Like that guy, dental plan. Like, yeah, he needs to, it's denture time. Like, that guy's got no teeth.
Oh, man.
And he just skated right off the ice. I thought, just a pool of blood, man. I was like, oh, my God. I was doing a show, Brian. I thought he got sticked in the face. I didn't know it was the puck. Even worse.
Oh, man. I mean, I swear.
No, these guys are tough. Imagine that. Like, guys are like, where? Oh, he held me. Or this. Oh, my knee hurts or whatever. Like, I'm bitching at the play. The guy lost his teeth with a pile of blood, and he's just coolly picking them up off the ice and going to the dressing room. I'm like, my God.
It's easy to say. I get it. I say we're being half facetious and being a punk and try to get a chuckle here and there. But honestly, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But literally, I'm watching the Niners game, and Coleman hurts his wrist, shoulder, whatever it was, and he's there for 5 minutes.
Oh, I know.
But no, he's standing for 5 minutes, and I'm like, well, your legs work, don't they? And I'm going, ever a hockey player, his teammates will be going, get the hell out of here.
They're a different breed. Yeah, the guy loses teeth, pile of blood, picks him up himself, and skates off the ice. Okay. Yeah.
And then he comes back.
I don't name me another sport. Exactly. Well, I guess the attitude is I got no teeth anyway. I might as well just keep on playing. Unbelievable. I like the Bruins in this game.
I cannot.
I'm not betting on Vegas. It's funny how both of our teams are sucking right now. Like, the Leafs are horrible. Vegas doesn't look right. Anyway.
Right. Pittsburgh and Philly.
I'll tell you, Philadelphia at home's been good, but Pittsburgh owns these guys, Brian. Tough game.
Is Pittsburgh, I mean, honestly, let's just cut to the chase here. Is Pittsburgh not
the best team?
I mean, you talk about flying under the radar.
I got to bet them to win.
Pittsburgh not, are they not the best story in hockey?
They have to be. Without Crosby, Jake Etzel, are you nuts? Like, most teams would have folded their tents. This is unbelievable. Defensemen hurt. They're doing it with Jari, the goaltender there. The fans are a bunch of clowns. They're booing Murray, and then they come back and win the game. Like, are you kidding me? Relax. Like, imagine being like a Toronto Maple Leaf fan and having to watch that crap every night. You're booing. You're like, nobody on the Pittsburgh Penguins gets booed. This team is unbelievable, fans. Get your head out of your ass. Anyway, Pittsburgh, that game against, who was it, Boston, down 3-0. You live bet these guys at like 10-1 or whatever, maybe even more. They come back and win 4-3, Brian. They are unbelievable.
Oh, by the way, I mean, it was literally, it was an ATM machine. I mean, it was even better than that. It was the tube that the teller would send to you in the car.
Oh yeah, I need one of those. Yeah, the tube.
Yeah, the tube. Yeah,
tube full of money would be great.
Well, and that was last year, and here they go again. And that was Chicago over in the first period.
Yeah,
Florida at Chicago, back-to-back nights for Florida. The total on the game is 6.5. Like it over the total, but let me tell you something, my good friend. The Blackhawks have won 5 in a row.
I know.
7-3 in their last 10, and all of a sudden, are you sitting there doing a cartwheel about the Vancouvers, Edmontons, Arizonas, and honestly, the way it's going, Vegases of the world? Chicago is back in the picture.
No, and Chicago like came up to Toronto and absolutely kicked their ass. I don't know how they're doing this defensively. And I'll tell you one thing though, Brian, you got to do the eye test. I watched Corey Crawford play the last couple games in Montreal and Toronto. He was fantastic. Like, I mean, really old good. Corey Crawford, he looked amazing.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
They got Leonard there too. Like, things are, they get any type of goaltending with Taves, Kane, DeBrincat. They got weapons on that team, man. I'm with you. If Florida beats the Wild tonight, I'm coming hard with the Blackhawks Tuesday.
Well, and I would just say this, and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I know. I got to get going.
I know.
Brian, my cleaning lady's coming. Not
again.
I can't afford a cleaning lady. I got to do my toilets myself. Anyway, continue. What are you talking about?
Well, when Vegas went to the finals,
yes,
the first year, there were all these reasons. First of all, they were discarded by their old teams, right?
Yes.
So all these guys had a chip on their shoulder, right? Well, they all got paid. So the guys that had a chip on their shoulder now have a chip in their credit card.
Exactly.
All right. But that was a big motivational thing for them that no one ever talked about. Now a lot of these guys got paid. Well, Corey Crawford and Robin Leonard. Crawford makes 6, Leonard makes 5. They're both UFAs. And if Leonard's the big picture guy, it was a 1-year show me thing, make sure he's got his head straight and all that stuff, and understandably so. But if Leonard's going to get himself a long-term deal, clearly only one of these guys is here next year. But the bottom line is both goalies you got going every night now for Chicago, they're mercenaries. They are playing for money.
Oh yeah, no, and you're watching Chicago like night after night. Like, this team has turned a corner. The goalies are great. They're playing team hockey right now. They look like they got good mojo, good chemistry there. Like, that Toronto game, they just absolutely kicked the Leafs' ass. It was pretty and the saves. Like, when the Toronto had chances, these weren't even like they were glorious chances. Like, Crawford was standing on his head, Brian. That game could have 14 goals in it. I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, you got to take the Blackhawks there. But you're betting the over in this Florida-Chicago game? You like the over 6.5?
I like the over in the game, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do too. With Florida and Chicago, I'll tell you one thing. Florida needs one of them goalies. They got Bobrovsky. He's been horrible this year, right? And Dredger, like, what do these guys do? Imagine them with like a real goaltender. They'd be scary. But you're right. Chicago's goaltending's really picked up, man. They look good.
All right, hey, let's wrap it up with this. The more I think about it, I was short-sighted and too simplistic. I think next year when we have the jousting Zambonis, it's mascots. Team mascots.
And first, Gritty can go first.
Gritty first. But I mean, no clowning around here. Take the governors off the Zamboni. I want them going 40 miles an hour in opposite directions. I mean, if we're going to do it, let's do it.
Exactly. If you're going to do it right? Blessing, I'm with you, man. Pucks from the stands. Get bent. What am I, stupid? Like, they think we're morons? Like, it's almost comedy. Like, people are like, what are these guys doing? They're shooting pucks from golf.
What was the one
what the last hell are you doing, man?
From the sideboards across into little dinky tiny nets?
Oh, God, help us.
What's come of the world?
I like your Zamboni racing idea, like horses. Let's race Zambonis or so. I'm done.
Yeah.
It's
Here
too
comes
stupid.
Rusty. Let's just stop.
We're complete turkeys.
We'll stop while we're behind. We love doing this. Glad you're joining us for the Hockey Betting Podcast. We made it to the All-Star break, Cammie, and you know what? All kidding aside, let's wrap it up here. But all kidding aside, when we come back next week, I think trades are going to start to ratchet up.
Oh, big time. Yep.
And the trade deadline is going to be, I think, a whirlwind because not a whole hell of a lot happened in the summer months.
I'll tell you one thing, and the teams that you follow, the Toronto and Vegas, are going to be at the top of the list. They need to make changes.
I think Buffalo's going to be very active too.
Yep. Buffalo. When's Skinner coming back?
Skinner is shortly after the break, and by the way, the dad's trip, they won plus $1.75 and
they should have beat Nashville. That game was. Don't even get me started about the referee.
They totally outplayed Nashville. Two garbage goals.
That game to Nashville. It was just pissed me off. I watched that game. I was angry as hell. I had Buffalo there. That put me through the roof. I was on the air. The guy I did my radio show with too, Scott Wetzel. He had the Sabres. We both did. We were both pissed. That game. I hate to say it. NHL officials, you're better than some of the sports out there, but that was pathetic. You should be ashamed of yourself. Sabres got robbed.
But leave it at this. The Sabres are going to go on a Tootsie Roll. They got 9 of the next 10 at home.
Yeah.
And against a lot of winnable games. They're going to get back in it. I don't know that their staying power there. And oh, by the way, I keep saying this is it, but you know what? How important points are? Dad's trip. Olmark wins the first game.
Yeah.
Every other time I've seen the dad's trip, the backup goalie plays the other game because, he's got a dad too, and they played Olmark in both games. Hutton's done.
For sure.
I don't know how they solve that, but if he wouldn't play him on the second game of a dad's trip, he's telling you that's all she wrote. The Johansson kids coming up from Rochester.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
you can't. I hate to say it, you can't play Hutton if you're the Sabres. You got to go on a heater and basically win like a lot of those games. They got to go bananas. And with Hutton, you're basically giving up points. You have to start Allmark. You're going to ride Allmark the way the Leafs ride Anderson. You have to.
All right, there you have it. Another edition of the Hockey Betting Podcast. I'm Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Cam Stewart north of the border. Enjoy. And we thank you all for joining us. We love that.
We love you all.
You've been listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website BetChrisCanada.net.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At BetChrisCanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling, and do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.